So today, the app we're going to be using is called Pixellab. You must have known about this app from my previous videos. So if you've not, you can just check the description below and watch my previous videos. So I'm going to launch the app. So this is what I get on my default screen. So I want to design a project for someone. So this is what we're going to be working on. So from time to time, we'll be coming here to check to get content. So let's go now. Go Pro with public speaking and writing. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to do a text. So select this plus button up here to type, say text. Okay, so Go Pro is what I'm going to type now. Go Pro with, so I press OK. I'll just place it somewhere. So I'm going to reduce the size. I'm going to reduce the size with this button. So I'll reduce the size here. Go Pro. So okay. I'm going to change the font. I'm going to change the font, so let me just look for a nice font. Go Pro. Okay, let me just work with this. Go Pro with public speaking. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to type public speaking. So text again. Bring it down and edit it. Say public. So I'm going to make the public very bold in block letters. Say OK. So I'll increase the size. Increase the size and take it up. So I'm going to change the font as well. Font. So I'll look for a nice font that is going to bring out the design. So there are a lot of fonts here you can actually pick from. So let me work with this one here. I say OK. So you can see Go Pro with public. Should I increase it a bit? Increase. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to type the public speaking. So I'm going to use this one here now. This font for Go Pro. Select it. So I'm going to duplicate it now by pressing on this copy right here. So I've duplicated it, so bring it down. With public speaking and writing. Let me see. Speaking and writing, okay. Public, edit, speaking and writing. So okay, you can see it. So I might just move it up, okay, and drop it. So let's go back to our design and see what next. Okay, think, write and speak like a professional. So I'm going to still use this to duplicate and type again. So what's the text again? Think, write and speak like a professional. Think, comma, write and speak like a professional. So I'll say okay. So I'm going to change the font now to a lighter font. So I'll go to fonts, click on it, So I'll choose a light font for this. Do I have any light fonts here? No. So I'll just get a light font. Okay, let me use this. And I say okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the size. Reduce the size. So I can now use this plus button now to increase it slightly. To align with the rest. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to tap on this zoom tool right here, so I can see what I'm doing properly. So tap on it. So I'm going to increase this part, right, so I can have a proper view of it. So I'm going to uncheck it. So now I want to edit it. I want to make speak like a professional bolder than the others. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to go to font again. Then I'll select speak like a professional alone, and now change the font to this bold font. Then press OK. Can we see that now? So I'll just move it up a bit. Let it not be too close. Let me move this one out slightly. Okay. So you can use your align tool now to see if this is well aligned. So I'll do 30 by 30. Okay, then professional. Let me move it with this position here. Move it out a bit. So okay, let me remove this alignment now, so we can see. Now let's zoom back to page. So what's the next thing we're doing from our design? Okay, so we type the features now. Features. So I'll go to text. And edit it, and now say features. Enter. Learn how to become a pro. Another point. Gain public confidence. How to perform in a meeting. How to respond to questions. How to answer interview questions. Let me just say interviews. So the last point is become good at your job. So these are just random things I just thought of, not like they are on the flyer, just for us to work with. So I'm going to reduce the size. So I'll reduce it to be small. Okay, this is okay. Then position, I'll move it up. Okay, I think I still need to reduce the size again. Use the minus. Okay, 15. Okay, 15 is good. 15 is good. So now the next thing I'm going to do, let's check our sample flyer. Okay, so I have benefits. But before benefits, let me change the font for this. So I'm going to go to fonts now. So let's use the font we used before. Go to recent and select it, then OK. So I want to make the features bolder than the others, so I still go to font again and highlight just features, then change the font to bold font and say OK. Can we see that now? All right, so what's the next thing on our flyer? Benefits. So I'll duplicate what I have here and use it for my benefits. So I'll just bring it down here and edit it accordingly. So I'm going to say benefits. So let me just use the same text to save time. Just use 3 points and say OK. Right? So what's the next thing we have? The next thing I'm going to do now is to do that arrow out there. So I click on the plus button, go to shapes, and I select a shape. This is it. So I'll turn it, I'll rotate the shape. Change the color. Which color? Okay, orange. Okay, I think this works. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to give it a feel. Then I can turn it, take it up there. Let me just increase it a bit to be fatter. So I'll move it up and put it right here. Increase it again slightly. Okay, so having done this, I want to import my picture now. So I'll click on the plus button and say from gallery. So I'll look for my picture and import it. I can do one by one. I could still leave it like this. So let me say one by one. No, let me just do the original. No. Delete, import, gallery, and this. So okay. So I'll place it somewhere here. Let me reduce the size. Okay, and drop it somewhere down here. Right? So for these other ones that we've completed, it's good to freeze it so that they don't shake while you're working on others. So I'm going to freeze all other designs until I need to work on them. So you notice that they are not moving anymore. So it's just this picture now that's moving. So as soon as I'm done with it, I would freeze it. So the picture is no longer moving. So on our flyer, let's see, we have 23rd February 2022. So I might just put the date plus text. So edit text. I have 23rd. So okay. Okay. So I'll move it. Change the font. Recent fonts. Should I use this 23rd? Okay, let me just work with this to save time. So I might just increase it slightly. Then take it up. 23rd. Should I change the color to maybe black? Okay. So now the next thing is February. So I'll duplicate the same one to use for February text. So I say edit. February. Say okay. So I'll reduce the size. And place it here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring in the date, the year. So I'll tap on this first one and duplicate it. So I'll say copy. Then I'll use this now to type my year, edit. So I'll say 2022 and press OK and just position it properly. Can we see that? Okay, let me bring it down a bit so that the design can breathe. So I'll bring it down. Then February 2, come down a bit. Okay, then this follow suit. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the box for the amount. So I'll go to insert, shapes. I'll bring this now, reduce it. Can you see? Okay, so I'm going to change the color to orange. Say OK. Then I'm going to duplicate it to have two of it. So have the next one here and change the color to black. Black is okay. Black or white. What did I use for this one? Okay, black and orange. So I'll do black. I'll do black. Just move it. Okay. Let me change the background. So you can see, or let me just add outline to this first. Let me just put a stroke to it. We'll still come back to it. So we'll just do a white stroke around it. Yes. Now I need to put the price. So I would add a text and say edit and say early bird. And say OK. I'll change the font. Let me use this. OK. Can reduce the size. Okay. So I'll make the color black so it to be visible in that box. Then I use the position tool to move it to position. Okay. So the next thing now is to put the price. So I can use any of these fonts now to duplicate. So let me use one I use for 23rd to do the amount. So I copy it instead of creating new design afresh. So I say edit and put 2,000 there. 2,000 naira for early bird. Can you see? Then for regular, let me duplicate this one. Let me edit it here. And regular. Okay. let me make this I'll move it and drop it here. Let me just change the color of this to orange. Then when I'm done, just for clarity, and when I'm done, I'll turn it back to the color I want it to be, regular. So I'll duplicate this and type the amount for regular, which is 5,000. I'll move it in and drop it here. Okay, let me use position tool to move it up. Okay, I think this is perfect. So what's the next thing? Okay, so the name of the presenter or the host, I would click on the text tool to say edit it and type Ogota Gerald, creative director, G6 Global Services, and say OK. So I need to reduce the size. Can you see? I think this is okay. Then I move it towards this direction. Let me increase it a bit. Okay. I say okay. Now the next thing I want to do is to align it to the center. So I click on align and say center. Can you see that? Okay, so the next is background. So I'll click on the text background, enable. Can you see that now? So I can change the color of the background, but I think black is okay. So I'll say okay. Then the next thing I want to do to that text background is to make the radius. I want to add a curve to the edge. Can you see that? Okay. I notice it's now entering the text. It's now entering the text. So I go back to background. Then I increase the padding, left padding. I increase it. Can you see it coming up? The same I'll do to the right. Increase the padding to give more room for the text. So, can you see it now? Alright, so I'll just bring it down with the position tool. Bring it down. Okay, what's next? Alright, so to join text GoPro. So let me do that now. So I'm going to use this last one now to duplicate to create that. So here, edit. So I'm going to type it out now. To join text GoPro to 09052878143. Okay, so you can see that now, right? So I'll just bring it down somewhere here. So the next thing I want to do now is to increase the size and the boldness for GoPro to be more visible. So I'm going to highlight this, say okay. Then I'll go to font. And highlight just from this place and change the font to a bold font, something like this. Can you see? And I'll say okay. So we have a bold right there. I'm still going to come back to colors. I'm just doing the text with black and white. I will still come back to colors and background. So what else do we have here? Okay, I noticed there is something at the end of this flyer. So let's create that now. Okay, but before then, let me add background now to this design. Let me add background to it. So how do I do that? I'll click on this point here and select an image. You can see the backgrounds I have. Can you see? So I'm going to work with this background now. So what I'm going to do is to say okay. Then I will now add colors to my work. So I'll change this. You remember I freezed all these items, so I will still go to this place here to unfreeze them. So unfreeze them. So unfreeze, unfreeze. I love it because I want to add colors to it now. So I'll tap on the first one here and I'll give it black color. Or let me give it orange color. Orange color. So I think black will come out better. So select this one here, GoPro. I'll still give it black color. Speaking should be in orange. And this one here too. This one here now, make it black color. I'll make it black color. So for my features now, let me bring this down. Yeah, so I'm going to bring this down. So I'll select a color for it, so I'll make it black. So you can see how it's coming out. So this space I have in between this and this, the features and the items, I'm going to close it. The same with this one too. I'll close it, say okay. Then black color, yes. So bring this down. Okay. Because I unfroze some of these things now, the setting has changed. So I might need to just fix it. Okay. All right. So the same with this now. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this down. The same with this too. Bring this down. So that's why I talked about freezing it while you're working. Right. So better still, let me zoom it in so I can see very well. Okay. So I'll move this down here. You just try to align it properly. Some of this is very easy. It's very easy. Bring it down. Okay, so you can see now. So you now take it back to 100. You can see how our design is coming out now. So for this one, just to bring it down, February. Okay, so now let me change this shape here now to black color, to black. Okay, then the text in it, text will be white or orange. Let me do orange first. Okay, orange is fine. Same here, orange. Okay, so GoPro comes down, benefit comes down, this comes down, this goes up a little. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to highlight this oblique, this. I'm going to mark it and move them together. Group. Okay, so I'll bring it down. This one to follow. All right, so you can see, let me move this up. So you just take your time and design it to your taste. Can you see? Okay, so back to what I was going to do. I'm going to insert shapes, right? Let me do a screenshot first. All right, so I'm going to insert a shape, then make it very long. I'll make it very long. Can you see? So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to go to texture, I'll go to texture and add that screenshot I just did into that shape. So I select that screenshot and say one by one, then I'll say okay. So you can see the screenshot now inside that shape I just drew now. So I'm going to bring it down here. Can you see? And I say okay. So can you see now our design is now coming out perfectly? So let me view it. So you see, you can now take your time to add any other thing you want to add. If you want to change the background, if you want to change the color, every other thing you want to do can be done nice and easy. So you can see now how the design has come out now. So if you got value from this video, please subscribe to this channel to get more amazing videos which we'll be working on. And if you're a returning visitor, do well to share, like, and comment on this video so that it can reach other people. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.